video that broke the NBA internet. LeBron James may have just dropped the most suspicious offseason clue of his entire career, and the NBA world is losing its mind. Because this was not just another workout clip. This was not just another summer video. This was LeBron, at 40 years old, fresh off another long season, appearing in the same basketball universe as Stephen Curry. Again, laughing, training, competing, joking, and suddenly making fans ask the one question that could shake the league to its core: is LeBron James really about to leave the Lakers and join the Golden State Warriors? At first, it looked harmless. A few clips, a golf course, a viral swing. LeBron stepped onto a fairway in Akron, Ohio, recorded himself trying golf for only the second time, and instantly became the biggest meme in sports. The swing was stiff. The follow-through was awkward. The ball did not exactly fly like one of Steph Curry's jumpers. And within hours, NBA Twitter, sports pages, meme accounts, and basketball fans everywhere were tearing it apart. Some fans laughed. Some compared him to Charles Barkley. Some could not believe that one of the greatest athletes ever looked so uncomfortable holding a golf club. But then Stephen Curry entered the story. Curry, already known as one of the best celebrity golfers in the sports world, saw the clip and did what only Steph could do. He turned a simple joke into a full production. At the American Century Championship in Tahoe in front of a watching crowd, Curry stepped up, swung, held his follow-through, and perfectly mocked LeBron's viral golf form. The crowd exploded. The internet exploded, and then Curry delivered the line that made everything feel bigger than a joke. The game needs you, big fella. On the surface, it was funny. Two legends having fun in the offseason. One future Hall of Famer welcoming another into the world of golf. A harmless roast between two men who have earned the right to laugh at each other. But NBA fans know better, because when LeBron James and Stephen Curry are involved, nothing is ever just harmless. These are not two random stars joking around on a summer weekend. These are the two men who defined an entire generation of basketball. They battled in 4 straight NBA finals. They split fan bases. They changed legacies. Curry built a dynasty in Golden State. LeBron brought Cleveland back from the impossible. For years, they stood on opposite sides of the sport's biggest war, and now they look comfortable together. Maybe too comfortable. That is why the golf video hit differently. That is why the jokes felt like clues. That is why every smile, every comment, every public interaction between LeBron and Curry suddenly became part of a much bigger conversation. Because behind the laughter is a real possibility that once felt impossible. LeBron James and Stephen Curry could be preparing for one final championship run together. And if that happens, the entire NBA changes overnight. The Lakers would lose the face of their franchise. The Warriors would instantly become the most watched team in basketball again. Draymond Green would get one more battle beside Curry. Anthony Davis could become part of the biggest veteran super team experiment in years. And LeBron, instead of quietly fading out in Los Angeles, would be stepping into the most dramatic final act imaginable. A former enemy becoming a teammate, a decade-long rivalry turning into a last dance, a Warriors dynasty trying to rise from the ashes one more time. That is why fans cannot ignore this. Because this is not only about a viral golf swing, it is about timing. It is about legacy. It is about two aging icons looking at the end of their careers and realizing they may still have one impossible thing left to do: win together. The craziest part is that Paris may have already shown us the blueprint. When LeBron and Curry played together for Team USA at the 2024 Olympics, the chemistry was real. The respect was real. The trust was real. Curry hit massive shots. LeBron controlled the game. And for the first time, fans saw what basketball could look like if these two legends stopped trying to beat each other and started building something together. That image never left the NBA world. So now, every new clip feels like a signal. Every report feels connected. Every rumor about Golden State chasing LeBron feels less like fantasy and more like a warning. The Warriors know Curry's window is closing. LeBron knows his own window is almost finished. And when two legends are running out of time, they do not think like normal players. They think about history. They think about the ring that changes the conversation. They think about the final chapter people will remember forever. And that is what makes this story dangerous for the rest of the league. Because if LeBron really walks away from the Lakers and joins forces with Curry, this will not be a normal free agency move. It will be one of the most shocking team-ups in NBA history, the kind of move that turns old enemies into partners and turns one last season into must-watch television. So the question is no longer whether the internet overreacted to a golf video. The question is whether the golf video accidentally revealed something the NBA was not ready to see yet. LeBron and Curry are no longer just rivals. They may be preparing to become teammates, and if that happens, the league better be ready, because the final act of this rivalry might be the most dramatic chapter of all. Where are you watching from right now? Drop your city in the comments. If you think LeBron should join Steph Curry and the Warriors for one last championship run, comment 1. If you think LeBron should stay away from Golden State and protect his Lakers legacy, comment 2. And if you want more NBA drama, trades, rumors, and behind-the-scenes stories like this, subscribe to the channel before this story gets even crazier. From a golf joke to an NBA earthquake. At first, everybody laughed because it looked harmless. LeBron James, one of the greatest athletes in history, stepped onto a golf course and suddenly looked like a regular guy trying to survive a weekend hobby. The swing was awkward, the follow-through was stiff, and the internet did what the internet always does. It turned the moment into a meme. But then Stephen Curry joined the joke. At a celebrity golf event in Tahoe, Curry copied LeBron's swing in front of the crowd, held the follow-through, and made everyone laugh. Then he delivered the line that changed the entire tone of the moment. "The game needs you, big fella." On the surface, it was just a funny off-season exchange. But NBA fans heard something deeper. This was not some random player joking with LeBron. This was Stephen Curry, the man who battled LeBron in 4 straight NBA Finals, the man who helped build the Warriors dynasty, the man who spent years standing between LeBron and more championships. So when Curry joked with LeBron like that, it felt different. It felt comfortable. It felt familiar. It felt like 2 old rivals who had quietly become something closer to friends. And in the NBA, that matters. Because friendship can become recruiting. Respect can become partnership. A joke can become a signal. A viral clip can become the first clue that something bigger is happening behind the scenes. Golden State knows Curry's window is closing. LeBron knows his own window is almost finished. The Warriors are no longer the unstoppable dynasty they once were. But they still have enough pride, experience, and urgency to chase one final title. That is why the golf video became more than entertainment. Fans were not just laughing at LeBron's swing. They were watching Curry and LeBron act like 2 legends who might already know something the rest of the league does not. Maybe it was only a joke. Or maybe it was the first public sign of the most shocking team-up in modern NBA history. The rivalry that defined a generation. Before they were laughing together, LeBron James and Stephen Curry were the 2 faces of an NBA war. LeBron was power, control, and pressure. He entered the league as the chosen one and spent 2 decades carrying impossible expectations. Curry was different. He was smaller, doubted, overlooked, and then somehow became the player who changed basketball forever. LeBron attacked the game with strength and vision. Curry broke the game with shooting and movement. That is what made their rivalry so powerful. It was never just superstar versus superstar. It was 2 different basketball worlds colliding. Then came the final. 4 straight years, Cavaliers against Warriors, LeBron against Curry, Cleveland against Golden State. Every June felt like the same question: which version of basketball was going to rule the league? Curry's Warriors won 3 of those 4 finals matchups. They built a dynasty, changed spacing forever, and forced every team in the NBA to rethink the value of the 3-point shot. But LeBron's one win in 2016 became one of the greatest moments in basketball history. That is why their rivalry still feels unresolved. Curry has the dynasty advantage. LeBron has the greatest comeback. Curry changed the sport. LeBron survived every version of pressure the sport could create. And now, after years of being compared, debated, and placed against each other, the idea of them becoming teammates feels almost impossible. But that is exactly why it is so powerful. This would not be 2 random stars teaming up. This would be 2 men who defined each other's legacy, deciding that the final chapter might be stronger together than apart. The same LeBron who broke Golden State's perfect season, the same Curry who crushed Cleveland's title hopes again and again, now maybe sharing the same jersey, same huddle, same championship mission. That is not just a roster move. That is history turning back on itself. The 2016 wound. Every rivalry has one moment that never disappears. For LeBron James and Stephen Curry, that moment is the 2016 NBA Final. Golden State had won 73 games. Curry was the unanimous MVP. The Warriors looked unbeatable. When they took a 3-1 lead over Cleveland, most people thought the story was finished. Then LeBron changed everything. Game 5, Game 6, Game 7, Cleveland kept fighting. LeBron played with desperation, power, and control. Kyrie Irving hit one of the biggest shots in finals history, and LeBron's chase down block became the image that still defines that series. Cleveland completed the impossible comeback. LeBron delivered a championship to his home state, and Golden State was left with a wound that never fully healed. Yes, Curry and the Warriors won more titles after that. Yes, their dynasty recovered, but the 2016 loss still follows them because it was not just a defeat, it was the collapse of a historically great season. That series changed how LeBron and Curry saw each other. Curry saw LeBron at his most dangerous. LeBron saw Curry and Golden State push him to the edge of his greatness. That kind of battle creates something deeper than ordinary respect. It creates scars, it creates memory, it creates the kind of understanding only rivals can have. And now, those scars may become the foundation of trust. Because if LeBron joins Curry, they do not have to wonder how each other handles pressure. They already know. They have seen each other in the highest stakes moments possible. That is what makes this potential partnership different. It would not be built on theory. It would be built on finals, pain, championship pressure, and years of trying to break each other. Sometimes the rival who hurt you most becomes the teammate you would trust most when everything is on the line. Paris changed everything. Paris gave NBA fans something they had never truly seen before. LeBron James and Stephen Curry on the same side. For years, they had been enemies in the NBA story. But at the 2024 Olympics, everything changed. They wore the same jersey, chased the same gold medal, and for the first time, their greatness worked together instead of against each other. At first, it felt strange. LeBron pushing the ball while Curry spaced the floor. Curry running off screens while LeBron read the defense. LeBron attacking the paint while Curry's gravity pulled defenders away. Then the chemistry became impossible to ignore. The famous alley-oop against Canada became more than a highlight. It was a symbol. Curry to LeBron, rival to rival, champion to champion. Two legends finally connecting instead of colliding. And when Team USA faced real pressure, both men delivered. LeBron controlled the game with leadership, passing, and experience. Curry hit massive shots when the gold medal was on the line. The same shooting that once hurt LeBron in the finals was now helping him win. That changes a relationship. It is one thing to respect someone across the court. It is another thing to trust them beside you when the pressure rises. Harris proved that LeBron and Curry could work. Not in fantasy, not in a video game. In real basketball, under real pressure, with real stakes. That is why the Warriors' rumors became more believable after the Olympics. Fans had already seen the blueprint. LeBron could be the organizer, Curry could be the weapon. Together, they could use intelligence, experience, and chemistry to make one final run. Paris did not erase the rivalry, it transformed it. And once two legends discover they can win together, the next question becomes obvious. Why stop there? The friendship nobody expected? Nobody expected LeBron and Curry to become this comfortable. For years, fans treated them like enemies. LeBron fans defended LeBron. Curry fans defended Curry. Media shows turned every finals memory into a debate, but the players themselves were living something more complicated. They were competing, but they were also studying each other. LeBron knew how dangerous Curry was without the ball. Curry knew how LeBron controlled every possession. They spent years trying to beat each other, and through that process, they learned exactly what made the other great. That is how respect is built. Then Paris turned respect into friendship. For weeks, they practiced together, traveled together, competed together, and won together. They saw each other's work habits, they saw the preparation, they saw the leadership, they saw the pressure from the same side. That is why Curry's golf joke did not feel disrespectful. It felt real. It felt like a friend teasing a friend. That matters because this stage of their careers is different. LeBron is not the young king anymore. Curry is not the baby-faced assassin anymore. They are older, wiser, and more aware that the end is coming. The rivalry no longer needs hate. It needs appreciation. And maybe that is the most human part of this story. Two men spent years trying to destroy each other on the court, only to reach a place where they could laugh together, respect each other, and maybe even trust each other enough to chase one more ring. That is why the friendship mattered. A move like this wouldn't show up happen only because of there's UZZ. It would happen because Curry believes LeBron can still help him win, and LeBron believes Curry is worth betting on. If Curry calls LeBron and says, "Come win one more with me," that is not just recruitment. That is history asking for one final chapter. Why the Warriors want LeBron now? The Warriors do not want LeBron James just for attention. They want him because Stephen Curry's championship window is nearly closed. Golden State still has Curry. They still have Draymond Green. They still have championship DNA. But they are not the same unstoppable dynasty anymore. The depth is different. The league is younger. The West is brutal. Every season that passes makes one thing clearer. If the Warriors want one more title with Curry, they have to act now. LeBron is the biggest swing possible. Even at his age, he still gives a team something rare. He gives control. He gives passing. He gives playoff experience. He gives basketball intelligence that cannot be taught. And next to Curry, that skill set could be terrifying. If defenses trap Curry, LeBron becomes the playmaker. If they load up on LeBron, Curry gets space. If they switch, LeBron hunts mismatches. If they drop, Curry shoots. Every choice becomes dangerous. That is the basketball reason Golden State wants him. LeBron would not need to be young LeBron. He would not need to carry every night. He would need to be the smartest version of himself, reading the floor, creating advantages, and saving energy for the moments that matter most. That is perfect for a veteran title chase. The Warriors do not need a 5-year plan. They need one more real shot, one more June, one more chance to make Curry's final years matter. But the risk is huge. LeBron is older. Curry is older. Draymond is older. A veteran team can break down quickly. Injuries, fatigue, and lack of depth could destroy the dream before it ever reaches the finals. Golden State knows that. But playing safe may be even worse, because when you have Stephen Curry, wasting his final elite seasons is its own failure. So the Warriors may decide that risking everything for LeBron is worth it. Not because it is safe, because it might be the only move big enough to change their ending. The Big Four dream: Stephen Curry, LeBron James, Draymond Green, Anthony Davis. Just saying those 4 names together sounds unreal. That is the dream version of the Warriors' plan. Build one final veteran super team and chase a championship before the clock runs out. On paper, the fit is wild. Curry gives LeBron the greatest spacing partner of his career. LeBron gives Curry an elite playmaker who can punish every trap. Draymond gives the team defense, communication, and championship toughness. Anthony Davis gives them size, rim protection, and a player LeBron already trusts. If it works, defenses would have no easy answer. Trap Curry, and LeBron attacks the advantage. Help on LeBron, and Curry gets open. Collapse on Davis, and shooters are free. Switch everything, and someone gets hunted. The ceiling is massive, but the danger is just as obvious. This team would be old, expensive, injury-prone, thin on depth, built for one sprint, not a long future. If one star goes down, the whole plan could fall apart. If the chemistry is not perfect, the criticism would be brutal. If younger teams run them off the floor, people will call it a desperate nostalgia project. That is the gamble. Golden State would not be building for the next decade. They would be sacrificing tomorrow for one more chance today. But maybe that is the point. The Warriors dynasty was never built by being afraid. They changed the league once with shooting, spacing, and small ball courage. Now, near the end, they may try something different, winning with legacy, intelligence, and experience. It may fail. It may be too risky. But if it works, it becomes unforgettable. Because this would not be just another super team. It would be the final stand of a generation. The Lakers' problem and LeBron's final choice. If LeBron leaves the Lakers, it will not feel like a normal move. It will feel like the end of an era. Los Angeles was supposed to be his final kingdom. He won a championship there. He broke historic records there. He played with his son there. He became part of Lakers history. But the NBA does not wait for perfect endings. The Lakers may not be the best path to one more championship. The West is too strong. The roster questions are too real. And LeBron, even at this stage, has never been the type to accept a symbolic ending if he believes winning is still possible somewhere else. That is what makes Golden State dangerous. The Warriors can offer something different. Curry's gravity, Draymond's mind, Steve Kerr's system, possibly Anthony Davis, and a franchise desperate for one last run. Cleveland will always be emotional. A final return home would be beautiful. Lakers' loyalty would be easier to defend. But Golden State might offer the best basketball chance. And LeBron's career has always been shaped by one question: where can I win? If he chooses the Warriors, some fans will criticize him. Lakers fans may feel betrayed. Critics will call it another super team. Every loss will become a headline. Every injury will become proof the plan was a mistake. But LeBron has lived under pressure since he was a teenager. The real question is not whether he can handle the noise. The real question is what ending he wants. Does he want comfort? Does he want loyalty? Does he want to return home? Or does he want one more impossible basketball story with the rival who helped define his era? If LeBron joins Curry and wins, the final chapter changes forever. If it fails, it becomes a warning. That is why this decision is so massive. LeBron is not just choosing a team. He is choosing how the last page of his career might be written. The last dance or the biggest gamble ever. In the end, this story comes down to one question. Would LeBron James and Stephen Curry together become the perfect final chapter or the biggest gamble in the NBA? Strategically, the idea makes sense. Curry does not need the ball to dominate. LeBron is one of the greatest passers ever. Draymond can organize the defense. Anthony Davis, if involved, can protect the rim and give the team another trusted star. The basketball fit is real. Trap Curry and LeBron creates. Help on LeBron and Curry gets space. Collapse inside and shooters punish you. Switch everything and the Warriors hunt mismatches. In the right moments, This could be a nightmare for any defense. But the risks are real too. This would be an older team in a younger, faster league. Health would matter, depth would matter, chemistry would matter. The names alone would not win games. Championships are not won by headlines. They are won by sacrifice, defense, trust, coaching, and timing. That is the real test. Could LeBron accept a different role? Could Curry share the final chapter of his dynasty with the man who was once his greatest rival? Could Draymond control the emotional pressure? Could Davis stay healthy? Could Steve Kerr manage the biggest storyline in basketball without letting it crush the team? Nobody knows. But emotionally, this story is powerful because it is not just about a ring. It is about respect. LeBron and Curry gave fans one of the greatest rivalries of the modern NBA. They battled in the finals, changed the league, created endless debates, and pushed each other into history. Now, near the end, maybe the final lesson is that rivalry does not have to end in bitterness. Sometimes it ends in appreciation. Sometimes the player you fought the hardest becomes the player you trust the most. That is what makes this possible team up so special. It would be risky, it would be controversial, it might fail. But it would also be unforgettable. LeBron and Curry together would not just be a basketball move. It would be a final statement from two legends who are not ready to let the next generation take the stage without one last fight. Maybe they are too old. Maybe the league has moved on. Maybe the dream collapses under pressure. But maybe, just maybe, they still have one miracle left. And if they do, the entire NBA will stop and watch. So now, I want to hear from you. If you believe LeBron and Curry can win a championship together in Golden State, comment 1. If you think this team would be too old and too risky, comment 2. If you think LeBron should return to Cleveland, comment 3. And if you think he should stay loyal to the Lakers, comment 4. Do not forget to subscribe, like this video, and share it with another NBA fan. Because if LeBron really joins the Warriors, the entire league may never look the same again.